guys can still see him there. He's now he's heading the right direction. He was kind of in a defensive position just a moment ago. I think he thought I was going to attack him or something like that, but you can see him there. He is starting to scurry off in the right direction, and that's exactly where we want him to go. So what would bring me out on this fine morning at about 5:15 when I haven't even had a cup of coffee yet, or as a retired cop, I haven't even had a donut? Well, that's because I love snakes, and I really love rattlesnakes. And last night we got about an 18-inch rattlesnake, a smaller one, probably, maybe a year old. I'm not even 100% sure he is a diamondback. I think he's a speckled rattlesnake. They have several different species of rattlesnakes out here in Arizona. Diamondback is probably the most common. Then they have the Mojave. They have the speckled, which is what I think this one is. I'm going to do a little research and verify it's a speckled. And then also they have sidewinders, and they have a snake out here called a tiger rattlesnake as well. But I haven't seen too many of those so far. I think I've gotten just one Mojave. Everything else has been diamondbacks, except the one I've got now, which I think is a speckled rattlesnake. But again, we got this last night. I appreciate the call. It was a call from a resident in Canyon Vistas, and he was walking his dog at about 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, 9 o'clock at night. And what occurred was he was literally stepping off the porch from his home and saw what I thought might have been a twig, and it was a rattlesnake. It wasn't coiled or anything like that. It wasn't hissing or anything like that. And the dog was going right towards it, and he saw at the last possible moment and pulled the dog back. And that was right at the steps of his home. And again, I've said this before, and so just to verify, there's not tons and tons of snakes out here. The chances of you seeing a snake are pretty slim. The gentleman that saw this, I believe he said this was the first time he's ever encountered a rattlesnake, and he's been here for several years. So again, I don't want to give the impression that, you can't step out of your house without, stepping on a snake or anything like that. That's not true. But in the video, I say that I have caught about 32, and I believe it's 32 exactly, rattlesnakes. I've gotten about 35 snakes total, 36 snakes total, but 32 of those, I believe, are all rattlesnakes, and all of them have been here in Canyon Vistas RV Park. But 32 sounds like a lot, especially when here it's over in Canyon Vistas, but that's because people are calling me and they're saying, hey, there's a snake out here. You want to come by and pick it up for me, and I'll scoop it up and I'll take it to some safe location, which is what I'm doing now, and dropping it off. So again, the chances of Joe Citizen living in Canyon Vistas RV Park coming across 32 snakes, 22 snakes, 12 snakes, or even 2 snakes over the course of 3 years is incredibly small. I just get the telephone calls because there are a lot out there. So, people saying, I've got a snake over here, got a snake over there, and so forth. So we're going to go ahead and release this snake now into a much better environment. We're a couple of miles away from Canyon Vistas. Snake will not make it back. It's a much more friendlier environment. And again, snakes, now people are going to kind of cringe at this, but snakes are actually our friends because they are out there eating mice and rats and things like that. And you don't want to, you don't want to get in any mice or rats in your home or anything like that, which we don't have because Canyon Vistas does a great job of keeping those out, and the snakes actually help in that. So again, we're getting ready to release the snake out here. As you can hear by the car noise, we're not too far away from the highway here, but we are several miles away from Canyon Vistas, so he's not going to make it back into the park or anything like that. It's a much more, I would say, snake-friendly environment, as you can tell back here. And we're going to go ahead and release him. But just wanted to reemphasize just one small thing also. I did appreciate the call last night from the resident Canyon Vistas. As a resident of Canyon Vistas, you can call anyone you want if you see a snake and you want to get rid of it. You can call the fire department. They have a snake line, and I'll put that snake line up on the video, or you can call me. A lot of people have got my telephone number. You can come out. Are there any advantages or disadvantages of calling me over the fire department or the fire department over me and back and forth? There are some differences, but there are also many similarities, which I think a lot of people didn't know. I have the same exact training that the fire department went to. Many members of the fire department, even law enforcement that catch snakes, go to the Phoenix Herpetological Society for their training, and they are certified, and I have actually done that. I have the same exact tools as the fire department has. In fact, I would even tell you that I have even more tools, because the fire department does not wear anti-snake boots, and they do not wear gloves when they're catching a large snake. This is a small snake, only 18 inches, so I don't have my gloves or anything like that. But if it was a large snake, I'd have my boots and my gloves on. So I would almost say that I've got not only the same equipment that they've got to wrangle up snakes, but I actually have more equipment for safety than the average fireman. And that's just a fact. I think that's absolutely true. Response times. I will not come out at 2 o'clock in the morning. If you get a call out at 2 o'clock in the morning and saying, hey Phil, I got a snake out here at my home, can you come get it? I'm not going to do that. I'm not even probably even answer the phone at 2 a.m. I will come out on normal, what we refer to as normal business hours. Basically, I'm pretty early. I'll come out from about 6 o'clock in the morning till about 9 or 9:30 at night. If you got a snake, I'll come out and get it for you. But I'm not going to come out at, dark 30 because you got a snake out there. You get a snake like that, and you should call the fire department, just because I'm not going to come out. The other thing is that I live here in Canyon Vistas as well, and sometimes I'm at the swimming pool, sometimes I'm at an event, sometimes I'm with my grandkids in Mesa, Chandler area. Sometimes I'm out having a little bit of an adult beverage with a few friends, and it's just not really pertinent for me to go out and try to get a snake when I've had a few beers or maybe a couple glasses of wine. So again, I am not a 24/7 person. That would be the fire department. And the fire department, if they're not already on another call, they usually get to your home in about 5 or 10 minutes if they're not already on another call. But as someone from a former law enforcement, I've always felt that, if you call the fire department, they're going to send out an entire engine company of at least 4 firefighters. And they're going to come out and they're going to grab this snake, and then they're going to take it out in the desert like I'm going to do right now. One of the things I just think about, and again, this is just me personally, is that when you call the fire department, you've got an entire engine company coming out with at least 4 firemen, maybe even more than that. They're going to come out and they're going to lasso up or wrangle up your snake, and they're going to get rid of it. But that's 4 firemen and engine company doing that when they could maybe best be served responding to a car accident or someone having a heart attack or something like that. So
you got any big buck? That's a big one right there. Oh yeah.
You can put him inside, he won't pop out.
He won't?
No.
Okay. Got him.
Hey, give me
Good job, Phil.
So again, feel free to call whoever you want. You don't have to call me. You don't have to call the fire department. You call whoever you want. But I am available. If I'm in the park, I'm usually able to respond within just a couple of minutes. In fact, I think the call last night, I responded out there, and I think I was there just within a few minutes, and it was to get the snake. Okay, so let's go ahead and release this bad boy. Okay, so we got our snake here. Again, he's not a very big one. He's about 18 inches. You can see him down there. He's hissing away. Upon looking at that, I think that is not a speckled rattlesnake. That does look like a diamondback. So I'm going to say that's a diamondback rattlesnake and not a speckled. Last night, for whatever reason, maybe because of the lighting, I thought it was a speckled, but no, it looks like a diamondback now. There's a little tongue. And get our snake grabber here. He's just all scared. We're gonna release him to a much more better location. There we go. Come on. There we go. Come on, buddy. right direction. There we go. You guys can still see him there. He's now he's heading the right direction. He was kind of in a defensive position just a moment ago. I think he thought I was going to attack him or something like that. But you can see him there. He is starting to scurry off in the right direction, and that's exactly where we want him to go, because he's going to find all sorts of food in there and definitely away from humans.